All right, it's time to go over our top 10 quarterbacks for week 7, starting right here at number 10. We're going Kyler Murray. Now, this is like one of those quarterbacks that you kind of look at, you're a little bit on the disappointment, right? You go into the very high hopes starting the season. Marvin Harrison Jr. gets drafted to the team. You think fireworks are going to happen. We already have Trey McBride at the tight end position. Man, this is going to be the season, unforgettable season, right? Not really coming to fruition right now. Marvin Harrison Jr. is struggling to really grasp the concept, I guess, of being an NFL wide receiver at this point. He's just not producing the way that we all wanted him to do, and then going out with a concussion last week. So Kyler Murray's kind of struggling when it comes to that. He's not building rapport with any other wide receivers. They do have Greg Dortch there, Michael Wilson, some other players there, but I think mainly you have Trey McBride, and that's about it for this offense. This week, Kyler Murray takes on a Chargers defense ranked 6th against opposing quarterbacks, and they may be without Marvin Harrison Jr. this week, just depending on if they can, if he can clear concussion protocol. Maybe he can come back. Who knows? We've been seeing a lot of players not come back the week after concussion protocol, maybe just playing it on the safe route. And if he doesn't play this week, I mean, it's going to be rough, sledding for him. I think it's going to be a lot of Trey McBride targets. He's going to be the one to go to if you want any receiving option for Kyler Murray. Just don't think you're going to have this amazing week from Kyler Murray. I think he's just good enough to sleep into your top 10. Moving right along here at number 9, we're going Joe Burrow. Now, this is another quarterback that had higher hopes throughout the season, right? I mean, he's got a plethora of options out there, whether it be Jamar Chase or T. Higgins. He's having okay games, right? But not games that we expect to see from a Joe Burrow, right? We want to see more from this guy. This week, he's taking on a Browns defense that ranks 10th against opposing quarterbacks. He needs to put together a better performance than what we've been seeing. Like even last week, it was just a performance. Yes, they got the win, but it wasn't because of Joe Burrow going out there throwing for over 300 yards, just dominating the league, right? That's what we want to see when we see Joe Burrow. We think huge opportunities and huge plays when we think Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase, having those bombs. I mean, he's been given some of those bombs, but not consistent enough to where we say, okay, Joe Burrow is back. He is a fantasy football stud. We can't see that. We've got to keep him as of right now here at number 9 for me. Maybe this week it gets a little bit better for him and this offense really starts to click even more. That will be good. That would be something that I would want to see for fantasy football. So move right along here at number 8. We're talking Baker Mayfield, right? Baker Mayfield is a guy that he's been producing, right? He's doing it, right? Week in, week out, whether he's been with the Browns or wherever he's been, right? Or the Panthers, or he just wasn't looked at as being a top flight type of quarterback. You put him in a system right here with a lot of weapons, and we see what Baker Mayfield's able to do, right? He's able to sling the ball all the way over the field. He's got Mike Evans on the outside, Chris Godwin in the slot as well. This team is clicking on all cylinders, and I have to say, mostly it's because of Baker Mayfield. This week, they're taking on a Ravens defense that ranks 30th against opposing quarterbacks. If the O-line can give Baker some time, I think this really could be a big game for Baker Mayfield. I know they like to have a good pass rush, but the secondary is pretty cock-a-doodle for the Ravens. So I think that there's a good opportunity here for him to have a 300-yard passing game. Like, I know it is what it is. I'm a big hater on Baker, not because I'm a Saints fan, but just because I just don't think he was a very good quarterback. He's starting to prove me wrong. The dude can throw the football. He's tough as nails. I mean, when he was running against the Saints, had a huge hit against them. He was hurt, came right back into the game. It didn't matter. The dude has huevos, okay? He's able to play at a high clip. He's putting up fantasy numbers for us. I like him here at my top 10 quarterbacks for week 7. Move right along here at number 7. I got to go to Sam Darnold, right? He's another one of those quarterbacks. A lot of people saying Sam Darnold in a top 10 rankings list in any given week for any game of his career. Yeah, right. No, he's for real. I don't know if he's just learned over the years. I know he was with some bad teams, whether it be the Jets and the Panthers. They just wasn't able to do anything. Look, he's got Justin Jefferson and a Vikings defense that's helping him keep in these games, and Sam Darnold's not losing the games. He's helping the Vikings win the games. I like what I see. This week, the Vikings and Sam Darnold take on a Lions defense that ranks 13th against opposing quarterbacks. He just continues to thrive as the Vikings quarterback. Like week in and week out, we know he's going to give you a good performance, and I have no problems putting him in my top 10. I mean, he's coming here at number 7 for me. I think that's a perfect place for Sam Darnold, and even having a weapon like Justin Jefferson proves he can consistently be in the top 10 rankings. I think he could be startable for your teams. Put him in there and have a good time, especially against a Lions game that should be a little bit more competitive. I know Aiden Hutchinson is now out for the season with I think he had a broken bone in his leg, so it could be more competitive, right? Less of a pass rush on Sam Darnold. Keep him upright. This could be a lot of back and forth matchup. I like myself some Sam Darnold for week 7. Moving right along here at number 6, we're going Josh Allen, right? A quarterback that really didn't show us much last week against the Jets, but I think maybe this week he has an opportunity to maybe do a little bit more, right? It couldn't be any worse. We didn't see a lot of rushing from Josh Allen, didn't see a lot of passing yards from Josh Allen, probably because the running game was absolutely going ham sauce for him, and he didn't really need to do anything else. So this week, Josh Allen takes on a Titans defense that ranks 7th against opposing quarterbacks. He's really starting to click right on all phases of this offense. And so it's whether or not the running game is getting to go. And you know he's got the passing game. Keon Coleman absolutely absent this past week. Maybe he gets it going this week. There's a lot of options out there for Josh Allen to be a top flight fantasy quarterback for you. And even though he probably didn't put in the stat line and the fantasy points that you wanted to see last week, you got to erase that from your memory, right? You start your studs at this point. Josh Allen is a stud. He could be number 1 quarterback any given week, and I wouldn't bat an eye at that. So Josh Allen definitely startable for me, easily at number 6 for me. Move right along here at number 5, we're gonna have to go CJ Stroud, right? Another quarterback that should be in a good back and forth type of matchup this week. He's got his weapons, right? Even without Nico Collins, he's still got some studs out there. Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell. They still got Dalton Schultz out there. There's a lot of players out there that could do some things. Even receiving out of the backfield, and Joe Mixon is proven to be pretty good for CJ Stroud. This week, they take on a Packers defense that ranks 11th against opposing quarterbacks. Should be an absolute shootout back and forth between these two quarterbacks. They're two good teams, two decent defenses as well, but opportunities await for both of these guys. I think that you're going to see a lot of competition between this. Probably not as much rushing yards as you would think, but I think that the quarterbacks are going to come to play and put up some fantasy fireworks for you. I like myself some CJ Stroud here in week 7. Set it and forget it. Put him in your lineups. That just means moving right along here at number 4, we're going Jordan Love, the other quarterback in this matchup. Again, he's just going to be going back and forth with CJ Stroud, right? This week they're taking on that Texas defense, ranks 22nd against opposing quarterbacks. He has so many weapons right now. We saw Romeo Dubes come out on fire with a couple touchdowns last week. Christian Watson had a touchdown last week. You know, and Jade Reed was almost an afterthought, even though Jade Reed's getting plenty of targets. There's a lot of players out there. Even Tucker Kraft, he didn't have a very good game last week. He'll probably have a good game this week. So it's just a lot for Jordan Love, and they're a little bit worse of a secondary than the Packers secondary is. That's why I have Jordan Love above CJ Stroud. But I think Jordan Love has an opportunity to put up over 300 yards yet again in this week, and he should be great for you for fantasy football. Get this guy into your lineup. Coming here at number 3, we have to go Jalen Hurts, right? Jalen Hurts is a quarterback that has such a high floor that he could give you all types of numbers, right? And going forward, starting last week, he's got all of his weapons back, right? We've got A.J. Brown back. Devontae Smith is back. We'll have to see what's going on with Dallas Goedert. Is he going to play? Is he injured? Or is he going to be healthy for the game? We don't know. You have to wait and see. And then Saquon Barkley in the backfield, right? This week, taking on a Giants defense that ranks 20th against opposing quarterbacks. The team's going to want to play well for Saquon Barkley. This is what you spell out to be a revenge game for Saquon Barkley. They're going to want to get him a lot of touches, whether it's running the football or passing the football. Or receiving the football. He's going to get all the workload, but I think with the defense on the flip side, they're probably going to be focused on Saquon a lot, which is going to give Jalen Hurts a lot of opportunities to find open men down the field and put up plenty of numbers for you. I just like the Eagles to completely steamroll the Giants this week. I think it's all going to be motivated behind Saquon Barkley. Jalen Hurts, set it and forget it. I love him this week. You got to get him into your lineups. Coming here at number 2, we're going Lamar Jackson, right? This is a guy that you love if you have him in fantasy football. He is so fun to watch. It can give you so many fantasy points. It's absolutely bonkers. I love watching this guy play. This week, Lamar Jackson takes on a Bucs defense that ranks 31st against opposing quarterbacks. He is the most electrifying quarterback in the NFL. The Bucs have absolutely no chance to stop this guy. There were some even injuries in the secondary last week for the Bucs, which is going to make it even more hard for them to even try to compete with Lamar Jackson. This could be a big game for Derrick Henry, could be a big game for Lamar Jackson. Who knows? Flowers will get in the mix. We're going to see Mark Andrews out there, Zay Likely. There's so many options right now. I think they absolutely go in there and have their way with this Bucs defense. I don't see a world in where they're actually going to limit Lamar Jackson doing anything. So this should be a great fantasy matchup for him. If you have Lamar Jackson, you're ecstatic about this week, get him into your lineup. Easily number 2 for me. And that moves it right here to number 1. We've got to go Jaden Daniels. This is a quarterback that's really starting to take the entire NFL by storm right now. He's starting to get more and more comfortable, and the more comfortable he gets, the better he's going to get. Even when he's running the football and scrambling out of the pocket, it feels like he's almost gliding like a gazelle out there, not even putting up much effort to be able to run and pick up first downs, right? This week, he's taking on a Panthers defense that ranks 21st against opposing quarterbacks. Like I was saying, he's absolutely lighting the NFL world up right now, right? He's doing everything he possibly can. Now taking on a Carolina Panthers defense who's struggling. They're struggling to do anything. And now coming in, Jaden Daniels on fire right now. Actually performed pretty well against the Ravens last week. Jaden Daniels is one of the easiest set it and forget it guys for me. If you're in Dynasty, he is clearly the number 1 quarterback right now for me. Over CJ Stroud, over all of these guys. Love myself some Jaden Daniels. He's week in and week out proven that he's improving, right? He's showing he can get better with Terry McLaurin. I think they're doing a lot better. They haven't built more of a chemistry there. I just like myself some Jaden Daniels. Guys, that's my top 10 quarterbacks for week 7. Guys, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Really helps out the channel. We are pumping out so many videos at this point each and every week to help you set the best lineup possible where we can ultimately help you win a championship. That's what we do here at the Bayou Bingo Fantasy Network. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.